Setting up our meeting.
Awesome.
Yay! Welcome everyone. This morning we have our local business owner of Bottoms Up Whitsundays. I hope most of you know who she is. It's Selena Daly. I'm really excited to have Selena here join me for a healing chat. So I hope you've got your favorite cuppa. Selena has hers. What are you drinking, Selena?
I'm drinking peppermint, Mel.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm still drinking chai. Just love chai.
Beautiful. Can't get enough of it. Yeah.
We're here to demystify what colonics are as a therapeutic for your well-being, in particularly your digestive health, how your digestive health has a huge effect on your mental clarity, and also why we should be watching our poo, because honestly there is not enough emphasis on looking at our poo and looking after our bowel health. And Selena knows lots about these awesome topics. She's really passionate about it. So thank you, Selena.
No worries, Mel. Thanks for having me.
So what is colonics?
So basically colonics are cleansing of our colon, generally our large intestine. So we can, eventually work with the small. Obviously, we can't get water into the small intestine because our ileocecal valve that dumps from the small intestine is a one-way valve. But by clearing up and cleaning out that large intestine, it then offers the opportunity for the small intestine then to have room and start to pump and dump like it should be. I find that the small intestine can sometimes be just as impacted as the large, so it can be sometimes the underlying issue. So basically the way we cleanse the colon is through the use of water. Water is our medicine. It's the elixir of life, and water is so important. So basically we insert a speculum into our client's rectum. It can't go any further than that, and that speculum has two tubes attached to it. The inlet tube where the filtered water comes in. So our water is like triple filtered. It's we've got filters on the outside of our building, on the inside of our building, then on our machine, and then the water passes through a UV filter as well. So that water is of
very high quality.
Highest quality. Yeah. So we don't want to be putting any yucky town water into the colon. So yeah, we ensure that those filters are always changed out and cleaned. So the filtered water comes in through that tube up into your colon, and then we basically fill until the client feels pressure, and then we release that pressure. And the other tube that is attached to that speculum is the outlet tube, and that waste basically comes out of your body through that tube, straight through our machine and out into the sewage. So there's no mess, there's no smell. It's all very clean and hygienic. It's all closed. So we use a closed system. There are different systems of colonics. So ours is a closed system where it's all nice.
That's really fascinating, because through this whole process, it's done with minimal discomfort, and you feel very comfortable through the whole process. And it is done in a way, like when you said there's a little bit of pressure, and then it just naturally, there's your body's able to release the waste. Because this is really important. We have a lot of patients that suffer from constipation, and that can be from a lack of moisture or a lack of emollients within the actual large intestine.
Absolutely, Mel. Yeah. And to be honest, probably 90% of my clients suffer from constipation. And the ones that have the chronic diarrhea, and say to me, no, I'm not constipated because I go multiple times a day. In my world, in my training, that constant diarrhea and that constant urge to release is from years of impaction and constipation. And that's basically the diarrhea, and those urges are the body's way of trying to expel some sort of waste. And it's just washing over all of that old compacted fecal matter that's been sitting in the colon for sometimes as old as we are. So our poo, we store it. We can store kilos of compacted poo in the colon. And yes, some of it can be, you know, if you were constipated as a child, chances are that poo is still sitting in the colon from way back then. So yeah,
no.
it's
So if I had McDonald's when I was 10, it might still be sitting in my colon.
Yeah. So I guess, you know, medical way of thinking is that that the colon is a self-cleaning muscle. You know, I get that a lot. And I guess every day in my clinic, it's proven that that's not the case. And I guess maybe when we were very first made as human beings and we were just living off the land and we were eating the beautiful food that earth provides for us, absolutely, there would have been no reason for the colon not to work as it was designed to work. However, you know, since then, we've been introduced to processed foods. Our water quality is, you know, doesn't have the minerals that we need in it. And yeah, like our fruit and veg is mass produced. And, you know, so if you're not buying good quality foods, then your colon, it can't work. It can't be self-cleaning because it's not made to, that's right. It's not made to compute and break down these foreign objects with numbers in them, you know? So yeah, that's really prevalent to me, that, and that probably leads me to the fact that everyone really should be having colonics. They might need them regularly, but good maintenance colonics is something that if you're not cleaning your colon, if you're not cleaning it and you're saying that you poo every day, I have clients that's come in, oh, I poo every day, you know, so this colonic, it'll probably just be clean. And in fact, it's full. That tube is full. Chock-a block. So, and yeah, we actually, you know, we're actually drinking our poo water as well, which is another gross thought. If we're dehydrated,
it's true.
It's very true. If we are dehydrated or our little villi aren't absorbing, then yeah, basically that's what happens, is we're starting to recycle those toxins. So we're drinking from the bowel is what happens. And from that, we become auto-intoxicated and we start to get the brain fog, the blurred vision, the headaches, yucky taste in the mouth, bad breath, all that sort of stuff comes from literally drinking poo water. So yeah, if you're not up for colonics, you definitely need to be drinking a lot of water.
And eating well too, like you say.
Absolutely,
like eating well in the sense of making sure that you're not eating too much processed food, because they lack the whole product of the vegetable, the fruit, or the food to help break down through the gut. And there is that accumulation that happens. And like you said, like, you know, if you're dehydrated, your body is made out of fluids. It's in your cellular fluid, your blood is a fluid, your brain, your cerebral spinal fluid is all fluids. Then it has to extract it from somewhere, and it's going to extract from your colon. And then, you know, and then it makes it more permeable, which means, you know, if you've got toxins sitting way too long in your gut, in your colon, then that's going to go out into the blood potentially, right?
Big time. So yeah, so colonics aren't just about cleaning the colon and getting fecal waste out. They clean the blood they help clean the lymphatic system. They help support like the liver, the pancreatic function, all of the other organs that are linked to the digestive. They help to start to support that and take the load off, you know. Because if you've got a congested bowel, all those other organs are taking on the burden of your bowel not working properly. So yeah, and because we are, you know, we're working rectally with the body, it's like instant hydration for the body as well. So we're getting in there and it's a big cellular drink. So you're getting like an instant hydration through a colonic, which gives most people that sort of burst of energy, or that, you know, their face becomes really clear and bright. And
definitely,
because we're moving that stagnant energy out of the body. So, you know, that then brings in that mental clarity, and that also, you know, working with your spirit as well, because it's like letting go of some old stagnant yucky energy that we've been holding on to, you know, and all those sayings that come in with, you know, let go of your shit, or you feel like shit, or it is all coming.
Let the cat go.
Yep.
Or
Absolutely.
frozen. Let it go. That kind of stuff. I mean, I really love how you brought in that aspect about the stagnant energy and being stuck, and also how there is this massive component, even on an emotional level, where people find it really difficult to grieve or to let go of experiences in their life, like even a past relationship or stuff that's happened in childhood. So it can be quite also, because everything's interlinked in the body. It's not just the physical component, it's also the mental and the experiences. So I can imagine that through the experience of having colonics, people have some pretty profound experiences through their life changing and adjusting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of emotional releases come up, you know. And for some people it can just, they just start to talk about stuff that they haven't, that it just comes from nowhere, all these conversations, and it's like, wow, I haven't thought about that, or for a long time. And to me, poo has memory, our cells have memory, you know. So as we're starting to clean the cells up and we're starting to let go of all that old stuff we've been holding on to, absolutely it does, it brings up lots of different things for people. Some anger might come out, like that can look all different ways for people, you know, or they might just go quiet and into themselves. It's a really beautiful thing to share with clients, you know. We hold that beautiful safe space and just really let them be in that moment, and let them experience whatever's coming up for them as they are physically letting it go through that tube. So I love that aspect of it as well, because I think it's like a whole sort of mind, body, spirit transformation, not just about getting poo out, you know. I have lots of people say to me, oh, well, I don't need colonics because I don't have trouble pooing. And for me, it's way bigger than that. Yeah.
I'm sure you hold such a beautiful space for all of your clients when they go into treatment with you as well. And you being able to hold that space as they go through their transformation and realizations, definitely, and their integration. And seeing their health outcomes, seeing how this one part of our body, which is often overlooked, actually can, like you said before, affect so much of your digestive health, your mental clarity. Absolutely. Even just adding extra hydration into the body, that the body didn't even realize how dehydrated it was.
Yeah, big time. I worked with a couple of clients yesterday who don't drink water. They probably drink maybe 4 glasses a day. And the whole colonic was literally them having a big drink. We hardly got much movement at all, like a little bit of plaque soaking off the walls, and bit of candida moving, but not too much fecal matter, because the fecal matter that came out was severely dehydrated. It was just, yeah, it was like, had no substance to it. So yeah, and their body literally had just this massive drink, and they felt quite energized afterwards. It was like, oh wow, we feel really light, and yeah, we feel like we've got all this energy. It's like, yeah, because you're just dehydrated. Lots of time fatigue and headaches and stuff comes from the body being dehydrated at a cellular level. You know, like you might be drinking a lot of water up here, but if your absorption at a cellular level is not working at its optimal way for you, then that water's just passing through the body. You know, you're not getting the quality that you need from it. So that's where the colonics come in, is basically cleaning the plaque off, so your little villi are free and they're starting to, you know, get a big drink at that level and, you know, working for you. So yeah.
And just to clarify that in the treatment, it's actually through a tube that you can actually see the fecal matter that Selena is talking about. So you don't actually have to see it through. It's just there's a little window that Selena has that you can actually just see what's traveling through as it gets flushed out, which is quite cool to see what's actually going through inside of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it helps bring in that gut brain connection as well, for you to be able to physically and visually see what your body is storing. I think it then helps to make that connection. And because I feel like sometimes we're a little bit disconnected from, you know, these three brains that we have, you know, our thinking, our feeling, and our knowing brains are a little bit disconnected sometimes, you know. And so yeah, I think the colonic can actually bring in a little bit of that. It's like, oh wow, okay, because I can't see it in there, then I don't know about it. I don't want to know about it.
Yes.
And then the colonic offers that opportunity to be able to go, oh, okay, wow, man, I am full of poo, or I do have parasites, or I do have worms, and this is what's going on for me. This is why I'm feeling like this up here, because down here is congested, or it's not well, or it's out of balance, or it's bacterias aren't, you know, my good bacteria is not thriving. So yeah, that's my outlook on that as well.
Now, you run a few cleanses as well, and one of the most popular ones you have is centered around the moon and parasites. Can you share a bit more information about that?
Yeah, so we do full moon parasite cleansing. There is a belief that parasites are most active on the full moon. I work with a parasitologist that makes all of our medicines that we use, all our herbal medicines that we use for our cleansers. And yeah, the belief is that on the new moon, the parasites detach from the walls of the intestines, and that's when they come out to breed. And then on the full moon is when they are partying and hatching and being most active, and when they're alive. And that's sort of when you can see the, you know, sometimes on the full moon, people's, you know, they say that people go a bit crazy on the full moon and stuff. And I think sometimes that could be driven by parasites as well. You know, they've kind of got their own mind, their own DNA. So they actually start to send messages up and say, hey, you haven't fed me sugar in a while. I want sugar. You haven't fed me junk food in a while. I want to be fed. So because they love meats and sugar and everything that's quite acidic, that creates an acidic environment. So Yeah, throughout our cleanses, we give people an eating plan. It's recommended that they would have, as much as they can, a plant-based diet, because we want to basically create an environment internally that the parasites don't want to live in anymore. They're not welcome there anymore. So we start to bring in, in a diet that's not full of sugar or animal products, so we can start to get that alkalized environment that they don't like.
Sounds like a really cool way to reset the body and to work with the cycle of the moon, which is also about letting go as well.
Absolutely.
On an emotional level as well.
Yeah. So the parasite cleanses are really effective, and they're probably one of my favorite things to do, because seeing parasites come out of the body for me is quite an interesting thing. It can be a little bit confronting for some.
I don't think people want to know half the time that they've got stuff going on. Like, we're happy to do it for our pets, but then, and maybe our children, but then when we realize, oh my God, but it's all part of being part of nature. You know, we all create habitat. We have bacteria that lives in our skin. They live with us. We've got bacteria living in our digestive tract. They live with us. And yeah, we've got some parasites.
Yep, big time. Absolutely. And, they're quite sneaky, and they can be the underlying issue of some people's health issues. They're constantly searching for answers. They get a little bit well, but then they decline. And sometimes I think it's because, like, the parasites lay dormant, come out, be active, lay dormant. And that's the same with a lot of bad bacteria in our body. So we need a little bit of bad and good, but obviously we want the good to be outweighing the bad, so it doesn't kind of control our internal universe. It's just a matter of getting those bacteria in balance.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah. And then we also, Selena organizes a moon circle for the women. We do it maybe every full moon, although every now and then we have a couple of months break. So this is such a beautiful environment where we come together on the day of the full moon, and it's just a simple offering, and we have a guest speaker, we graze on some beautiful snacks, and we learn about something new that's relevant to us as women. And holding space for women is something I think Selena is really, really amazing at.
Thanks, Mel. So are you. We love your sound bowl healings and meditations, and also all of your perspective on Chinese medicine that you don't necessarily get to talk about all the time in the clinic. So it's beautiful to hear about that, and hear about your growing up and what you've bought from your mum. And it really is a beautiful time. And I don't know if you've seen, because I haven't got a chance to talk to you yet, but we're doing one online for the May one. Yeah, so and I've talked to Kira from K&P Grazing, and she's going to do some beautiful little individual platters for people who want to have that, so we can all sort of snack together, but obviously not be in person, but we can still share that experience. So I think that's really beautiful. I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a beautiful one. I think we all missed the last one very much so. So it's going to be on this Thursday evening. So that's the
7th.
6th or 7th of May.
7th of May, yeah.
7th of May, full moon. And you can find information about joining us on the virtual world by going to Bottoms Up Colonics Whitsundays. There's an event page created for the Moon Sisters Gathering, and Selena will post the Zoom link up so that we can all connect together in our energies. And then if you do want to order your grazing plate, you do need to pre-order that. So just let Selena know so that you can have your special treat. We could be sitting in all coziness, whether it's in your lounge room or in your bedroom or somewhere, and just really tune in to the energies of what's happening in the universe right now. It's pretty collective. Very collective.
It is, absolutely. It's kind of I guess it's forced us to find other creative ways of connecting and still being with each other, even though it can't always be in person. And I've always like poo-pooed technology because I'm not completely up with it. But I have to say it has really brought about some beautiful stuff during this time. And yeah, just being able to still connect and see each other's faces has been really, really lovely. So yeah. But yeah, we're back in the clinic now. So starting to be able to slowly see clients again. So yeah, that's been really nice to be able to connect with them in person again. Yeah, it's different times, but like we were saying before, it's brought about really beautiful things as well.
Yeah, I really have enjoyed this quieting down period, actually. I think it's been really prosperous for me. It's been a real blessing to have some time out.
Yeah, absolutely. Much needed time, you know. It's just making it. Oh, okay, sure. Sorry. Bless. Yeah, so no, that's really good.
So Selena's back in the clinic as of this week, and you can contact her via Bottoms Up Whitsundays Colonics on her Facebook business page. I will post some links for you. I think this is a great way, because I think one of the things we notice is that as we get older, we all tend to put on a bit of weight, or we might start getting, the doctor might start telling us that we need to lose weight because it's causing us pain on certain joints. But it might be very worthwhile to have an overall check with Selena. And a lot of men also have weight. They eat too much. As men get older, they tend to drink too much alcohol, and they can sometimes prefer to eat a very rich diet. In some ways, they are not clearing their digestive tract enough. So if you have a loved one, or if you know a male friend that really could benefit from this, it's really worthwhile that they do check out seeing Selena in her beautiful clinic, she makes a very safe and warming environment, and she explains everything to you in a very clear way, and she makes it feel so effortless. And you don't have to, if you have any questions, or if you feel stressed about any part of the process, she's always happy to answer your questions before you come in, so she can address your needs as well.
Yeah, I just it's very very discreet, you know. Everyone's covered up, and there's no I think once you've done it once, it's not as bad as what your mind might be telling you, because obviously, you know, our regions from waist down aren't spoken about enough, and they're very taboo subjects. And so it's very normal to feel nervous and uncomfortable with coming to see me. But, you know, what happens in those four walls stays in those four walls. And it's a place that we can just openly talk about poo and all of our health concerns. And yeah, it's just, I love what I do, and I do it because it basically changed my health and turned my health around when I was a lot younger. And yeah, I've probably been in a lot of places that my clients have been in, so I can very much sympathize with stuff that they've got going on, you know. So yeah, I just and you feel great afterwards. So yeah, that's probably. But yeah, weight loss, when you were mentioning that. So yeah, some people lose kilos a session, which is freaking amazing. It's that's kind of sometimes my secret too. If I've got an event on, I go and have a colonics. I've got a nice flat tummy, and it gets rid of the bloating, and so clear skin, you know. It's just like this entourage effect of it's an entourage effect of what other things it does for you just by clearing that those old toxins and stored waste in the body. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Selena, for coming
Thanks,
and joining us
Mel.
today. I learned a lot. It was fascinating to hear about all the processes that you can experience from having a colonist. I hope this makes you feel comfortable definitely in trying the benefits of this therapeutic practice. You will feel the benefits immediately, and I look forward to hearing about your processes in the clinic. So thank you, Selena, and I will post up the links underneath where you can contact her. Have a great day.
Thanks, Mel. See ya. Bye.
Bye.